So, a quick note on this episode, Jeanette was actually the first person that I interviewed for this podcast, but we had some technical difficulties, and now I finally was able to work through those. So, we will enjoy Jeanette as episode 4. However, it still contains references to episode 1. So, if you find yourself confused, this is what it is. So, here we go. We're learning as we go. Enjoy.
Put a little bit of lip gloss on and it looks darker than it is. So
it's a good story.
But you know what? The Zoom does the just soften my features slightly. So
it's my favorite because it makes me look not so old. And now that I use Teams all the time at work, I look like a hag on every call compared to Zoom. I'm like, wait, what's wrong? Why don't I look good anymore?
Doesn't Teams allow you to help?
Well, the only thing I can find the only thing I can find so far is like a Snapchat filter that makes me look like a weird wax figurine.
Oh yeah, those are creepy.
So yeah, no, I have to spend some time playing with it, but we'll get there. We'll baby steps. So welcome to Share a Sandwich. Today is Share a Sandwich with Jeanette Shearer.
Hi.
And I never know I'm saying your last name right.
Do I pronounce it? I pronounce it Cher, like Sonny and Cher, but I do believe because it is, I think it is originated from southern Germany, like I think Bavaria area. I think it originated from a sheep shearer.
Oh, interesting.
So it is spelled shearer, and I think that's where it's from, but I just say Cher.
I say it so easier. Rarely that every time I say it differently. And then
nobody says it.
I've known you for 100 years and I never say it. So I'm going to intro you really quick. I obviously know who you are, but all of our millions of listeners don't know who you are. So Jeanette grew up in small town Missouri in the 70s and 80s. She went to the University of Missouri, Missouri, right? Columbia.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
I'm going to stop you. Missouri does not have an A on the end of it. It has an I. And no one pronounce it Missouri, or I'll just like go postal.
Just lose your mind.
I shouldn't say go postal. I will go, lose my mind.
Yes. Jeanette has a political science degree and a philosophy degree. For some reason, she just could not make herself go to law school, which was her plan. So instead, she auditioned and somehow got into the prestigious California Institute of the Arts and got her MFA in acting, where she still discovered her calling was not only acting, but writing and directing. Obviously, mine is not acting. She currently works as a story producer in reality TV, but hopefully one or more scripts will be sold soon. Okay. But hopefully one or more of scripts will be sold soon. She constantly feels fortunate to have great parents who provided her with a wonderful childhood. Her mom is and always has been her absolute favorite person. Oh, that's so sweet.
She has never fallen out of the number 1 spot.
Man, that's like goals right there.
You know what? It is goals. And I know people who have a very different experience than me. And so, no, I'm never not thankful for, and we grew up, small town Missouri. The view of my photo is the back porch of my house in Missouri that we moved into when I was 15, I think. But even smaller house, sort of in a woodsy area up to then, but blue collar, not, Dad worked for Union Electric, and I feel like in the very beginning, I may remember Mom also maybe having, not for very long, but used food stamps. So it was like very middle class, but besides like the Jordache jeans, although I did get a pair of Jordache jeans, but like I wanted more pairs of Jordache jeans. So besides the more pairs of Jordache jeans I wanted, it didn't but it was easier to live back then on a union salary. So we won't go into that. Don't get me started with that, which is why I support all strikes.
Yes.
And always will. And but yeah, so I'm very lucky, and I need to work harder just so they can see me feel like made some success, even
Right.
though
Not
they
that you
don't judge
don't
me.
work hard. You're a very hard worker. I've seen you. I've known you for a
I
long
I
time.
can, but I need a deadline because because if I don't have a deadline when we're writing something, oh,
True.
it's
True.
tough. But
True.
hey, some people are terrible with deadlines, and I am like, it is, the
Yeah.
magic hour with
No, I'm good with deadlines too. For those of you who don't know, Jeanette and I write together. We've been writing things together for a very long time. And hopefully someday one of those things will take wings. Take wings? That's not how you say that.
we'll grow wings
Take,
and take flight.
take
So
flight.
yeah. We've gotten, high places and big contests, as it were. So it's
Yeah,
just the right person's got to read it at the right time.
it's a matter of time. So did you read about the idea of what's behind this podcast and the quote that is behind this podcast?
I have it on. Hold on, let me look at my screen here. I have it on screen.
I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it to you. So
Read it.
I got the idea for this podcast. I'm a huge Liz Lemon 30 Rock.
Who isn't? Who is
I
not
mean,
a Liz Lemon fan?
That's what I'm telling you. Like,
I
and
don't even know.
the older I get, the more I feel like I actually may be Liz Lemon more and more and more. Like as I've watched it, we were watching it last night. Like it's just it's constant. But I was watching the episode where she says this quote, which is, "Can I share with you my worldview? All of humankind has only one thing in common: the sandwich. I believe that all anyone really wants in this life is to sit in peace and eat a sandwich." And yes, and here's the thing, like we're in very divided times, and it just got me thinking, like, what if we all focused on sort of the idea of things we have in common, things that we're all interested in, and left the politics out of it, which, you and I obviously can get very into politics and
Yeah. Well,
social issues.
we'll do that off to our one of our
We'll
other,
do that another time.
extensive conversations.
Because we all have very strong points of view, but sometimes I feel like we get caught up in those things and we forget that we're all at the core of it very human, and flawed, and have simple likes and dislikes. So I decided what I would do is I would put together these 10 questions, and I would ask a whole bunch of people from all different backgrounds and different people that I know with different jobs and different ideas the same 10 questions. And minimally learn some cool little tips and tricks and things that we didn't know. And also, in addition to that, just sort of realize how we're all more similar than we are different in general. So I wanted to have you on because obviously I've known you forever and you're my writing partner and I know all of your social and political views. So we can just focus on.
We can just skim. We can just skim right past that.
Exactly. So what I'm going to do first of all is icebreakers. I'm going to give you an icebreaker. This is the only question you don't know. For those of you at home, I gave Jeanette the questions in advance so she could think about them, but I did not give her this icebreaker. And the icebreaker is this: how would you describe your job to a 5-year-old?
I think my job would be a little easier to describe to a 5-year-old because they all watch TV. So I would say, so for everyone out there, my current job is I'm a story producer in reality television. So what I would say to a 5-year-old is it depends on how smart they are too. Like which 5-year-old? Am I talking to me at 5? Because you're
talking to like your average 5-year-old. You're on a playground. Some kid like pops out from behind a tree on like a, with a stick and a lightsaber. And they're like, "Hey, what do you do for work?"
I would tell them this. Here we go. I would tell them that I sit at something that's called an editing machine. And I take, when they probably know when people film TV shows, there's cameras and stuff, and because they have cameras on phones now too.
Sure.
And they can probably edit on that as well as a 5-year-old. But I'd say, so I get all of that footage, and so picture the footage being a 1,000-piece puzzle, and all the pieces. So I decide and I can decide what the puzzle is going to look like. So I put those puzzle pieces together, and a boss I work with also has ideas of maybe how to change the puzzle pieces around. So then once that puzzle's finished, it gets colored and polished and shined up. And then that is the finished product. And that's what's called a TV show. That's what you watch on TV.
I like that. That's a really nice way of phrasing
I
that.
literally pulled that out of you know where. But I think visually kids understand how you have to put pieces of the puzzle together. So, if you show them visually, I got to grab this piece, I got to grab this piece, I got to grab this piece, and even like explain it in Legos. So
Right.
sometimes in Legos, you can make a figure that I might think is the figure that is for the best story that we want to tell. But somebody might be like, oh no, we need them to wear a hat, or oh no, we need them to wear a coat. And so then I hand that off to, I think this might be a better now. I hand off that Lego to a person, let's say, who can actually animate it into a cartoon show, or or who works with clay and can make an actual clay figure out of it, because kids know, cartoon shows and stuff. So
That's
it's
true.
like, here's a model, because they make models, and then we can make it into something that moves. So
Right.
something like that. And then
So
not go into how it sucks my soul.
you wouldn't say I take a bunch of housewives and I
And
put
it's
them in
so,
a
and
house in
everybody's drunk
Atlanta.
all the time, but we don't say they're drunk
They're
because
always
of the red
drinking.
Solo cups.
And we go in and stir the pot occasionally when they're being boring.
We don't really stir half the time with those shows. In fact, you don't have to stir the pot because there's enough self-stirring, but it's just like, and then my soul gets sucked out of my body. And then I write scripts with Mary Kay that I think actually have some.
And then your soul goes back into your body.
Then my soul goes back in
creative
somewhat, and then I talk to my cat Luther, and everything's fine.
All right, so your first question today, Jeanette, is
Yes.
what is your favorite TV show or movie that you watched recently?
Yeah, I wrote some answers down. Now, it may just be one answer, but the show that I watched recently that I told you about, that I not only loved so much, anyone I've recommended it to has also recommended to their friends because they love it so much. So so people need to know that Mary Kay and I wrote a true crime script. We are very much into true crime. So this show on Amazon Prime, it's called Deadloch. So Deadloch. A lock is in a Loch Ness, so a body of water. Deadloch is shot in Australia. It's a true crime mystery that is a dark comedy true crime, and it's like, it's not funny murders. It's like people are actually, it's but it's like super funny, but also dark, but also somehow they do have, like, there's very serious, grounded, issues people are going through. And I don't know if I've watched a show recently where every single character is so distinct and original, and it is so clever, funny, and it is so it's set in a town called Deadloch, and Deadloch is a town that sort of has become very feminist. The female mayor, they have like a very sort of feminist festival that I won't talk about, but it is so funny and clever, and the writing is so clever, and it's one of those shows where I was like, I would like to write for that show. I would like to direct that show, and I would like to be on that show. It's so good. So I highly recommend Deadloch for everyone. And then I did just see Barbie recently, which I loved.
I mean, come on.
I loved it. I didn't like the boardroom stuff because that felt a little slightly tonally different to me, but like just the layers, there's a lot of layers, and some people don't understand the layers.
And
but there's
Ryan
a lot.
Gosling, I mean,
I've been a fan of his since I am a huge fan of Ryan Gosling, but also Margot Robbie. I think the first time she came on my radar was Wolf of Wall Street, but it was just not the supporting role, but she is a legitimate movie star. She has, you know, the looks for it, but she produced, I think Barbie was her idea. And I think she took it to Greta, and then Greta and her husband Noah wrote it. But like for Greta
Ah.
Gerwig, this is her third movie. This
Isn't
is
that
her
crazy?
third movie. Her first one, Lady Bird, then the what was the other one? The remake, the reimagining of
I can't remember.
I want to say Jane Austen. I could be wrong, but
Oh yeah, yeah, it was Jane Austen. It was freaking hold
I
on.
can't think of the title of it. Pride and Prejudice. It was not. It wasn't Pride and Prejudice. It was
Little Women.
Little Women. Oh my God, we're terrible. Edit that out. We should know that. But she was nominated for Lady Bird, at least for writer, and then I think writer and director for Little Women. And then she does, when you look at the credits on those two smaller movies and you see the credits, she legit directed not only a massive movie, but I don't even know her, and I'm proud of her. I'm proud of both of those women. It's like a blockbuster, a $1 billion plus blockbuster. And I'm like, you go, girl.
Yeah.
You go. And she's
and I've been excited to see it for a year. Like,
oh, I didn't want to see it because I was like, I didn't really play with Barbies because I don't understand like why.
just
you know,
why?
my little lesbian person in the, whatever, the 70s. I'm like, why am I doing this? But I didn't know what it was about. And I was like, what is this ridiculous movie about, where I see pictures of them in their neon outfits and stuff. And, but yes, did not like Oppenheimer. Discuss for all the viewers there. We won't get into it.
No, you and I have to get into that separately because I finally just saw it. So we'll save that for another day.
But that was a long answer. Answer's deadlock.
Okay. That's a good answer. I like that answer.
Yeah.
And I still have to watch it. So this is one of the reasons I wanted to do this, was because new TV shows. Okay. New or favorite book that you were
Your favorite book. So books I've been reading have been books for researching for my current writing thing that you know about, which I won't get into. But my favorite book of all time, I think, is A Prayer for Owen Meany by John Irving. Oh. And he wrote The World According to Garp. People might know The Hotel New Hampshire. That was a movie like Rob Lowe and Jodie Foster went or something. But The World According to Garp, I'm sorry, Prayer for Owen Meany, it centers around a character named Owen Meany, who is described as like a very tiny person with big ears, and he always gets made fun of, but it's not that he's so confident, it's that this character, even when he was a kid, seems to know his future, and he might know how things end for him. It's almost like he's got a little bit of, I don't want to say supernatural powers, but just sort of like maybe intuition that is real type of thing. But anyway, so A Prayer for Owen Meany, it's such a well-written, it's such a beautiful story. And it's really about these two young friends who are friends when they're little. You have Owen, who is weird and poor, and his friend John, I think it's John, I forget his last name, who is extremely not interesting and boring, but wealthy. They East Coast, and like John's mother paid for Owen to go to their like the good prep school. But it's just like this beautiful story about friendship. But it's just so John Irving. It's just, I don't want to say it's well written. Of course, it's well written, but it's so creative, and it's clever, and it's alive, and the story and the characters are just, as anyone who writes, you're like, where did he come up with that? Where did he come up with this little character, this weird character, Owen Meany, who is fantastic. And also Owen Meany, all of his dialogue is written in all caps.
Oh, interesting.
So you can immediately hear what this small stature person is sounds like. It's part of, the things that makes him stand out and very, like, and very odd. And he's also sort of like the most together person in the room. It would be like if a young kid who was small and weird had the soul of 100-year-old person inside him. That's who Owen Meany is.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I haven't read that one. I'm excited. Now see,
you got to read that one. That's a really good one. And I think I should read more. A book that I read straight through several years ago was The Martian. It was based the movie The Martian with Matt Damon.
Mm-hmm.
I just like, as good as the movie The Martian was, the book was still better. I just like flew right through it. And a play that I've read a few times just to sort of, because I'm also doing my rework on my play, but just to sort of get inspiration. But August Osage County.
Oh, that's a good one.
I can see his face. I can't think of Carrie Coon's husband.
Yeah.
He won the Pulitzer, so I should know, and the Tony, so I should know his name. Well,
but that's what he gets, like he gets to be Carrie Coon's husband.
I mean, I am going to hold on.
His name is Tracy Letts.
Tracy Letts, thank you, out of the Steppenwolf Theater. Tracy Letts. So it is really long. So I think the play also either had 1 or 2 intermissions, and I never saw the play because I don't think it came through here, but it's every character. There's so many characters to deal with, and every character has such a specific personality and their own sort of demons or obstacles that they're dealing with and overcoming, that it all comes out in the end. But it's a long read, but every time I've read it, I have just read it that straight through, because it is just so, I want to say it's ferociously written, but
that's good.
I think people attribute that sort of writing to Ernest Hemingway, which I may have read Hemingway in high school. I haven't read him since then, but
yeah.
So that's my book. My book would be A Prayer for Owen Meany. It's an oldie, but it's a goodie.
Okay. And follow-up question to that is, if you wrote a book about your life, what would the title be?
This is just from me lately. I have 3 different titles that I wrote down. The first title is How Did I End Up Here?
Yeah.
The second title is This Took a Lot Longer Than I Thought. And the third title is Did I Do It Like I Should Have?
Interesting. That's a good one.
Yeah. So knowing me, those all make sense. But I think the third one.
I feel like those would all resonate with a large audience too, because everyone would place their own meaning on them.
Yes.
And immediately, I have to read this book. This book is going to be about me.
It's going to be about me, and it, would be, maybe sort of like not my life story, but a fictionalized sort of life story. And then, I think a lot of people end up wondering, did I do that like I should have? So anyway,
every day I wonder that.
Yeah. So that's not peppy and positive. That's not like me. Like, I love cats,
Although that could also be a title of a book about.
I think it'll be a chapter, perhaps. Maybe it'll be a chapter in the book, but. Oh
my God. Speaking of cats, can I just say something completely off topic for a second? Because I was thinking about you the other day. So
I'm drinking coffee. Oh, my coffee, I spilled it over.
Massive coffee.
It's a massive coffee, but I do want to shout out, I'm not getting paid for this, but I bought many coffee mugs to try to keep them cold, because I do iced coffee every day. Yeti has mugs. It has coolers. It's dumb because they should pay me. This keeps things cool like nothing else you can possibly buy.
All right. Well, let's get a sponsorship by Yeti.
Sponsorship. I should have wiped it off first, but anyway, yes, it's my giant coffee.
We'll work on that. We'll work on a sponsorship with Yeti iced coffee. We're also going to work on a sponsorship with. So we were having a big conversation about cats recently at work, and people were talking about cats walking over your keyboard and how they're constantly walking over your keyboard.
And you didn't speaker phone me in, because it's like, hey, I know someone who's probably an expert.
I need to conference someone in. But someone said something that blew my mind, and I have not researched this, so I'm starting rumors. But she said she read a study that if you buy your cat a kid computer, like one of those little computers with the keys that click, they'll walk on that one, because the reason they're walking on yours is because they want to be doing what you're doing. So if you give them their own little computer next to you, they'll do it on that computer instead of on yours. And number one, how cute is that? And number two, you have to try it.
I think that's cute. I also think it's not true. The reason cats walk over your keyboard is because they want to be by you, and
That makes sense.
yeah, they want to be by you and next to you, and they want, you know, attention and pets and stuff. So, but the other idea is cute, and I'll pretend that is like super real.
It's cute, and I want someone to try it. Okay,
That'll
so
be what the AI is going to be in the future. So our
Oh, geez.
AI is going to be cats walking on keyboards.
Cats
and then,
walking on keyboards.
Yeah.
That's terrifying. What is something you wish you had done more when you were younger?
I thought about this, and I thought that maybe it would be something more profound. But I think for me, I think I would have. I think I wish I would have taken singing lessons from a very young age.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, because I can do plays, and I have like a really solid 4-note range. But people who can like sing, you know, I know that like Adele, I believe she was opera trained, and you know, all the musical theater people who like the woman who was a leading waitress, Sarah
yeah.
Bareilles herself even.
Yeah.
But like, so I think it would be singing, probably dancing, which usually would include ballet. And the only reason I would not want to do ballet is because I wouldn't want to do the point work where you have to be on your
Oh, I
tippy
did
toes,
that.
because that like messes up your feet and it messes up your toes. And
Yeah.
most people who I know who have done ballet for a long time have ugly feet.
Oh, yeah.
I think my mom did sign me up for like a tap class when I was little, and I don't know how that happened. But I'm like really coordinated, so I should have stuck with it. Like I can learn a dance, you know. And then also I did take piano lessons when I was little. I wish I would have stuck with that.
Yeah.
But I can still, if I ever get a keyboard, which at some point I do want to get it again, I can figure out, you know, I can read notes. I was in band and I played the, you know, whatever, the trumpet, but like, but it was to be the piano classes only because of this. If when I buy a place and I have people over, I would learn a bunch of different musical songs, because everyone we know is
Mhm.
a very talented musical theater person.
Yes.
And so I would start like, let's say the chords to you know, what is it, 965,800
Right.
minutes or whatever the number is.
Yep.
And then I guarantee I would have like all my friends who knew all the different
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, parts.
That would be amazing. It's like an
That'd be
old
so much, it'd be
timey,
like
like cocktail.
it'd be like a super like fun, you know, piano musical theater bar, which I have been to a couple. There was one in Silver Lake at one time that I went
Mhm.
to, and or just sort of like you know, any sort of like I can play Islands in the Stream, and then like two people can sing like one Kenny Rogers and the Dolly Parton part. I can sing the Kenny Rogers part. It's too much. You didn't ask that question. That should be
It
a
doesn't
question.
matter. I
What
need
would be
to know that.
your karaoke song,
Oh, yeah, that's a
and
good one.
why?
That's a good one. I need to
I don't
write
want to
that
tell
down.
you how to do your podcast, but that's a
But please tell me how to do my podcast. It's literally like, you know, the first time we're doing this. So we're
I
finding
know.
our
I don't want it to be the last time because I was the first one. So
way.
yeah, so those are the three things I wish I would have done more when I was younger. I don't think there was really any place to go. I've never skied before, and that might be something that I would have wanted to do as a kid, but it's definitely those three things. I also wish my high school, I played softball in like a summer league, you know, for the kids and stuff, and I was very, very good. Like
Hmm.
even as a little kid, I made the all-star team every year. I was very, very good. And I feel like if my high school had a softball team, I could have gotten a scholarship to college to
Oh,
play softball.
you probably could have. You're very
Yeah,
sporty.
very sporty. I'm not fast. I cannot jump high,
You don't
but
have
I'm
to jump
very,
on softball.
no. Well, I did play basketball for 2 years and got all conference in that as well, but I can't jump I'm very coordinated, cannot jump high or run fast.
Okay.
But it
Why-
might have been that.
Can't jump.
Luckily, you don't have to jump in.
Yeah. There is no jumping in reality TV.
No.
So what is a nonprofit or organization that you are passionate about?
I don't know if I'm super passionate about things, like a super passionate about one, but I think the things that I do love are, like things like Make-A-Wish, anything that helps kids when they're going through things that they should not have to go through. And also, I'm very big on animal rescue
Mm-hmm.
organizations, which is everybody should know. She's very wealthy and she isn't specific. She does have an animal rescue. I think she does have an LLC, but Howard Stern's wife, Beth Stern, who might be one of the sweetest people alive, she rescues cats and actually recently a few bunny rabbits. By the way, if you have bunny rabbits as pets, you should not release them outside because they cannot survive outside. Domesticated rabbits cannot survive outside there. You also should not let your cats out. But she rescues cats and they're in her house. Like they have, a very big place, but like she has dedicated rooms for, cats, and then you'll get like a pregnant cat. So the mama cat will have a quiet place. And all the cats love her, even the cats who were a little close off in the beginning, because there's something about Beth Stern that cats know that they're safe. But so I follow her, and it's just like, it's a very happy account. And there's an account I think you follow called We Rate Dogs.
Oh yes.
So We Rate Dogs, the guy, he's a kid, but he's like, I think he's late 20s, but he started We Rate Dogs during, I think, the pandemic. Just to have something. It's something he thought of. It's like, here's a really happy thing. I'm going to rate this really cute dog. And he's turned it into, he'll pick a dog that needs medical attention and ask people to donate. And literally if they need $5,000, within like 30 minutes, it has been, raised. So children and animals.
Those are both good.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
So you say one, and that's hard because
Yeah, it's hard.
It would be flight, but there comes a lot of things with that. Like you do need to have like super lungs to be able to fly. You do need to have some sort of indestructibility from the skin because you're flying and there's like, things hitting you. So flight would be the first one.
Okay.
But ideally it's all the powers of Superman plus invisibility. So those are the powers that I would want.
Oh wow, that's a lot of powers.
Yeah, it's a lot of powers.
Yeah, okay. So like alien powers.
Like alien powers, but I think like yeah. Alien.
I mean, Superman has the best powers.
He has the best powers. He's also kind of the most boring, but I would do that. And the invisibility is important because sometimes you got to like get in and get out. Nobody knowing.
Yeah.
So
that's a good one.
But it would be flight, I guess, if you could. And also, like high speed flight. But then of course you'd have to have a special suit that you couldn't go too high if you're human. So it's like you got to stay low, but then there's trees and you could be seen. So that's very, complicated. Invisibility would be a good one though, too. I think with the complications of flight, it's possible that invisibility might be the first one that I'd want.
Okay.
Yes. So my superpower, I thought about that. I think I have women are often taught not to trust their gut, but our guts are always right. But I have a very good gut intuition of good people or not so good people, or people who could seem good, but they're low. So I have very good gut intuition about people. I think you know that. I'm friends with Mary Kay, so I do have a very good gut intuition about people. I think going back to Mary Kay and I met many, many years ago. We both worked at the Geffen Playhouse, one of the big theaters in Los Angeles. I can basically, this is what I would do during work sometimes when we're raising things up or whatever. I can eyeball things to level like nobody's business. If you need
Really?
things hung, I'm like, I can tell if a painting is just slightly lower. And then I do eventually I'll have like a small level that I'll have to like whip out just to make sure to prove myself right. But yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, I can like eyeball things to that center bubble.
That's
I
a
can eyeball
really good
skyscrapers to
superpower.
level.
That's a really good superpower.
That might be my superpower.
That's a good one. That is a good one. Also, you seem like someone that would have a level in your back pocket at all times.
You know, I actually there's my little cabin over here. I've got a level. You gotta
You
have
gotta
a
make sure
level.
it's level.
I cannot stand if I'm at somebody's house and like I have a picture that's a little uneven. I will straighten it.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
I will straighten it
yeah,
for you.
that makes sense. Okay, next question. What is the last thing, song, podcast, book, etc., that you listened to on your phone?
You know, I don't listen to because I don't drive to someplace to work, so I don't really listen to podcasts, and I'm not a big song listener to person. But the last song I'm going to look at my phone right now, I did listen to was Waterloo by ABBA.
Yes.
I mean, come on.
You can't go
Waterloo and
wrong.
Dancing Queen, that one. And also, I think, let's see here. I also listened to Little River Band Reminiscing.
Yes.
Which not I'm
Yeah.
like old school, classic rock.
Hey,
So
no
yes,
one's
but it
bad.
was Waterloo, and then I did, usually they will show me what my last thing was. Styx. I think it was Babe, I'm Leaving. I Must Be on My Way. Just like,
That's great.
major old school.
Nice. Okay,
And
well,
then Jack and Diane, Mellencamp. That was one I listened to the other day as well. So,
Jack and Diane. I haven't heard
I
that in
mean,
forever.
I know, and it's just like the best, right?
Yeah, no, it
And
really
my
is.
karaoke, I also listen to Dead or Alive by Bon Jovi. So if we're doing,
Oh.
that is my,
Jack and Diane would be a good karaoke song.
I have also done that. It's right
Yeah.
in my 4.5 note range. Well, 4.5 on a good day. So I can't mess that up too much.
Just stick in that range.
It's just, I got to stick in that tight range, man.
I can't sing my way out of a paper bag, so I have no range, and I just do what I do depending on how many glasses of tequila I've had before my song comes up.
Right. But we're not drinking glasses of tequila anymore.
Oh,
So
we're
that
not
was
drinking glasses
to
of
kind of
tequila.
like,
Exactly.
we're too old for that.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, here's a random question. What is your favorite dinosaur?
I recently learned that one of my best friends, I was at his wife's baby shower, and she got like, just like, I love buying baby clothes for people. It's usually like Star Wars or like fun stuff. And super randomly, so she got like a little dinosaur outfits or something, and she's like, David, her husband's name, she's like, one of the first things David asked me was what my favorite dinosaur was. And I was like, what? And because I've known David for like 25 years, and I didn't even know what his favorite, it was Stegosaurus. And I was like, I can see that. I mean, so I did write this down. So there's two, it's sort of like, what's my favorite dinosaur in terms of what dinosaur would I want to meet, or what dinosaur would I want to be?
Oh,
Right. So
yeah.
the Brachiosaurus, if you remember Jurassic Park, it's the big ones with the really tall that eat the leaves out of the tree when they're hiding up in the tree. Spoiler alert.
If you don't know what happens
if you
in
don't know what
Jurassic
happens
Park,
in Jurassic Park, there's dinosaurs. And so that would be one to meet, because they've got like, at least in Jurassic Park, they're like sweet faces and they're big, but yet their bigness it would be a detriment, I think, to if somebody like the T-Rex was going to come after him. I'm not sure how fast the T-Rex was, and a lot of people say T-Rex, but here's the thing with T-Rex: you got tiny arms.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think you're a little, I would imagine you topple over a lot. I know that they have the tail probably to keep the balance, but I'd feel like you topple over a lot with the hands. You couldn't help.
Yeah.
So I put, I don't know if this is the official scientific name for it, but the Velociraptor, which are
Oh,
smaller, speedier. According to Jurassic Park, they're cunning, and their arms are longer. They're a little bit more in proportion with their body. So
yeah.
I think as far as terms of what I want to be, it would be a Velociraptor. The one I want to meet is the Brachiosaurus. I put a
That's
lot of
great.
thought into that one. I put more thought into that one than like my, the book.
That's good though, because what's funny because the reason I put that in there is because I was watching something the other day and this kid asked somebody, I just like instead of having small talk, he was like, "Hi, what's your favorite dinosaur?" And
Mm-hmm.
adult was like, because we don't. I mean, on a daily basis, I don't think about dinosaurs. I'm not
No, yeah, I don't.
the kids, it's something that they're thinking about. They're thinking about dinosaurs. So I was just intrigued to see what another adult would say.
Kids think
My
about
question.
dinosaurs, but see, as you know, I can't do small talk.
Right.
Well, and
It's
even
awful.
now I'm just like, oh my God. I literally, and I have one, two, three, four, I have 6 neighbors, two, and two. They're all like super nice people. We rarely talk to each other, which is fantastic for me. And I mean, legitimately, the other day I saw my one neighbor, who's he's not a big talker at all. He's very nice though, and I just said, his name is John. I was like, hey, John. I legitimately then talked about the weather, but the rain was coming, so I had a reason. In LA, it's this LA storm. I am from Missouri. If you look in that background, there have been like the darkest, scariest clouds,
Oh yeah.
which I love. Rain's my favorite. Thunder. I've sat on that porch. Actually, there's a screened in section of the porch over here. So I've sat on that screened in porch when it's just like thunderstorm and lightning, and I'm just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's the best sense. Some people don't like it, but I'm just like, oh my gosh. So the LA rain, I'm just like, my eyes could not roll hard enough in the back of my head. And the only reason it's bad is because there's no drainage. There's no proper drainage and
We're just not
runoff.
set
And
up for
so
it.
there's problems with that then. But
That's funny.
yes. Here's the thing. What is a word I say too much? This is your number 8 question.
Yes.
I don't know. I
Mm.
don't think I say too more often, I guess more often than
Yeah.
not. Um,
I have a few that I say that I realized how much
which
I
ones do
say
you
them.
say?
So through podcasting, I've learned that I say awesome a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I say like way too much, and
Mm-hmm.
then I was like this and I was like that.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely say that too much. So there's certain things awesome. It's usually descriptive words like, oh, awesome. That's amazing. That's,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll say it like 16 times in the course of a sentence, which
Yeah.
if I were right, it's funny because as a writer, I would go back obviously and change all of that, right? So that everything's a different word.
Yes.
But when it's coming out of my face, it just comes out as it comes out. And
I think I thought about the word like, and because I I've long ago, once people started saying that more, I never said it too much, but I made a conscious decision to not say it, because it is when you hear like kids talking, and that's fine if they say it, but you just want to say, try not to say that too much, because I think sometimes it's used to soften what you really want to say, especially young girls.
yeah,
Don't
yeah,
soften what you want to say. You just say it, girl.
that's a good.
I mean, a phrase I might not say because my cat doesn't care, but I'll write that scene later. There, we can maybe do a phrase instead of a word, and that's, as you know,
Yeah.
because if later doesn't have a deadline,
Then
I'm pushing
later
it,
is going to be later
or a
forever.
paycheck, I'm pushing it. So I
Yeah,
don't think that there's really a word I say too much,
that's great.
because I have consciously, tried to not fall into the traps or the tropes that people have fallen into.
Fallen into.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a good one, and I'm interested to see. I had some guesses on this question for you. Favorite or desired celebrity sighting or person you want to meet?
Here's what's weird. I couldn't think of anyone. Well, the Kates, Kate Winslet and Kate Blanchett.
Right. What
There's-
about Gillian Anderson?
Gillian Anderson, I'd want to meet. That's a person. I'll tell you one person I want to meet. I would want to meet Sir Patrick Stewart, only because I love Sir Patrick Stewart. Is really strong about like rescuing pit bulls and he'll foster them so people know that they're really sweet. So that's, I mean, you can't not love Sir Patrick Stewart,
True.
but only because I would be like Sir Patrick. And my dad has this like, he has a desktop set up and he has like, you know, because he will build his own computers, but he has this laptop that's like a doorstop brick. I'm like, Dad, it's from 1980. Just like get a new. But I would want to FaceTime them. So I would want to meet Sir Patrick Stewart and be like, hey, my mom is a big fan of Jean-Luc Picard. And so they could FaceTime and then mom could meet Sir Patrick Stewart. Actors that I'd want to meet because I want to know what their process is for getting to their character. Because acting is really hard. Acting well is really hard. So probably like Meryl Streep. I really would have wanted to talk to Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah.
You know, and there's like, of course, Viola Davis, only because it would be Greta Gerwig, and it would be because, and you're like, what would be the ideal situation to meet them?
Mm-hmm.
I would want to meet Greta Gerwig because I would want to ask her, hey, can I shadow you? So I would, because that's something that I still need to do. Follow her in that. I guess you could say the other big directors like, you know, Steven Spielberg. Yeah. You'd want to follow his process. But that would be the main thing for me, just because I want to learn something. For people I just would want to meet, those that I said for sure. And Gillian Anderson, because she's originally, I think, from Chicago. So it's just sort of like, and you know, we should date.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm surprised she wasn't the first person that came to mind. It's like, well, Gillian Anderson, because
yeah.
Get married.
I like to talk about people. Well, it would be actors about their process. So even like Cillian Murphy, we speak of Oppenheimer, and you know, to all the actors who were in Oppenheimer, you were all fabulous. You were all fantastic. But everything he's good at is great. Same with Philip Seymour Hoffman. Just I just rewatched. I think it's an underrated movie. Charlie Wilson's War, starring Tom Hanks.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Charlie, I think it's on Amazon or something. The movie itself is really, really good. I think it was even written by was it written by West Wing? What's his name?
Aaron Sorkin?
Or I could be wrong, but
I
like
no idea,
I think it's possible. But anyway, and Julia Roberts is in it.
I like her.
And it's based on a true story. And Philip Seymour Hoffman's first scene, he is so good. It's just like, he is that actor where you're like, his characters are so complete immediately. I mean, you know, good Lord, just like.
No, it's true. I just rewatched The Big Lebowski recently. And
I was just going to say, Brandt.
He's just like, he's not even in it that much. But the second he shows up, you're like, oh, I know this guy.
I know this guy. But even Boogie Nights, I think Boogie Nights might have been the first time he was on my radar as Scotty, who clearly was gay. And in love with the Mark Wahlberg character. And the reason you know that is because Scotty's first entrance, he's you know, he's a little overweight, and he has on a t-shirt where I think he wants people to think that he's cool with his body, because everybody there is a porn star. The big pool party that we see in the beginning with oh my God, him and John C. Reilly talking about how much do you bench.
I love John C. Reilly so much.
Good.
Yeah.
But his shirt doesn't really cover his stomach. So the first scene you see with Philip Seymour Hoffman is he's excited to show up because he's in with this group that is probably the first time he felt kind of cool, you know, to be with these people. Well, he keeps pulling his shirt down. We've all done it. Oh yeah. Except for all you out there with your flat stomachs. But because so you see he's uncomfortable with his body, first of all. Just that little motion. He looks around, and then because of the camera, you see him POV right onto Mark Wahlberg. So immediately you know that he's gay, closeted, and immediately fell in love with the Mark Wall. And I'm just like, that all happened in 10 or 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And he didn't say a word. And it's just like, God, I miss it. If there's somebody's talent I miss, it is his.
So brilliant.
Oh my God.
Brilliant
He's
all the time. All the time.
he's so good. He's just so good. That was a longer list, but I think it would
A good
be
list.
it's a good list.
And we come to our final question, which was inevitable, which is, what is your favorite type of sandwich or sandwich-like food?
Well, I'm going to bring this back to my original bio and being fortunate enough to have a good childhood. But the first thing I wrote, and I don't eat it a lot because it's not really ever that filling, and I can't make one that's great. A grilled cheese sandwich is the first one, because going back to the childhood in our small house that we had on the hill is it was good for sledding. And so especially when school's canceled, which is the best thing to ever happen when school's canceled because of snow, it's a 100% of the time it'd be you come in from the snow and grilled cheese sandwiches and tomato soup and Campbell's tomato soup.
That's such a great combo. Can I tell you, I got an email the other day. You know how much I love Masterclass. Like, I'm a big Masterclass fan. Shout out to Masterclass. We are not sponsored by Masterclass.
I have so many to catch up on.
Oh my God, there's so many. So I got an email from Masterclass the other day that they apparently have one on how to make the perfect grilled cheese sandwich.
You know what? I think I saw that, and I might try it.
Yeah, so you should try it and then report back.
My cat's meowing at me.
I mean,
yeah, I will, because it was and I think we used American cheese. It is entirely possible we used Velveeta cheese, which people normally don't like, but I'm just like, you know what? It's gross, but give me a block of Velveeta. So I will look on that masterclass because that's important. So that is just to sort of bring things full circle, as we like to do. I think another sandwich that I have gotten to like is a really good breakfast sandwich. So like sausage and egg, or bacon and egg and cheese, sauce and egg and so those aren't great for you, but man, a good breakfast sandwich is it's the best. But also, so generally speaking, I guess a regular sandwich, if I would go maybe to Subway, which I rarely do, but if I go to Subway, it would be like a turkey cheese, avocado, bacon sub, with a little salt and pepper, vinegar and oil. And I do put mayo on mine. I know a lot of people don't like mayo, but
I love mayo.
Yeah. So just like that would be like the basic type of sandwich. But I think those first two, the grilled cheese is the staple of one's life and maybe one's childhood for sure. Good breakfast sandwich though.
Oh, I just had a great breakfast sandwich from somewhere. I didn't remember where it was from. We ordered dinner one night here at my house in LA. And I was like, you know what? I just really want this breakfast sandwich. And it came on a gluten-free bagel, and it had like cheese, and I don't even remember what was on it, but it had avocado and tomato, and it was so good. I'm
telling you.
Yeah. It was.
And at any time of the, that is like full on any time of the day, good breakfast sandwich. Yeah. So that is, I didn't think of that one at first, but I was like, I literally had just ordered, which I shouldn't have, but I ordered this breakfast sandwich. I forgot what the place is called. It's somewhere near where I am. I'm not very far from Mary Kay, but I guess they do a brioche bun, and they do a little bit of, it's not mayo. It would be almost like maybe almost a sriracha mayo type of thing to add a little bit of tang to it. But I think I got like a sausage, egg, and cheese. And I'm just like, oh my God. Yeah. I could not shove that into my face fast enough.
No. And I'm here to tell you, like,
shoved it in my face.
Sandwiches are a guilty pleasure. They are, especially in the culture where it's like bread and whatever and who knows. But when you get a really good sandwich and you're eating a really good sandwich, you can't not be happy. It's like eating tacos. Like, nobody eats tacos and is sad. Like, it's not a thing.
Or
you
like
can
angry.
do.
I've never angrily eaten a breakfast sandwich. It was just like this breakfast sandwich place. Yeah, it's just so good, whether it's sausage, and even McDonald's. I mean, with their biscuits and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
It's not great for you. It's certainly not great for you, but I mean,
Yeah.
damn, it is just,
Back in the
it's
day,
so,
after drinking, you get a Coke from
oh,
McDonald's and a
forget about
breakfast
it.
sandwich, and you're
Yeah,
golden.
forget
Golden.
about it. So those would be it. And I know there's like the regular sandwiches, but I think beyond the grilled cheese, I think a good breakfast sandwich might be the winner
Yeah.
because yum.
Because yum.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. And that
Exactly
place
right.
you went to, you have to tell me what the name of that is when we get
I
off,
gotta find the
because
name of it. I'll put it. I'm gonna do an Instagram for this at some
okay,
point, so I will put it on the Instagram. Breakfast sandwich places.
there's inhaling food, and then I don't know what's like a step above inhaling food, but I'm just like shoving it into my face because it's
Can't get
just
it.
I cannot get it in my face. And then it's like I'm sad when I'm finished with it. So it's just
Yeah,
there's no
that's a
savoring
good
anything.
sandwich.
Yeah. Just
That's a good
get that
sandwich.
breakfast sandwich in there.
Amazing. Well, thank you, Jeanette.
Oh, I
This
do
is
want to point out the Liz Lemon quote where she said, all of humankind has one thing in common, the sandwich. I believe that all anyone really wants in life is to sit in peace eating a sandwich. The key for me is sit in peace.
that is your
Mary
key.
Kay knows I'm an introvert. It's just like,
Yeah.
I don't need to be around people eating a sandwich. I don't want people around me. It's just like a quiet, contemplative
Yeah.
sandwich
Watching football with your cat
eating,
eating a sandwich.
watching football.
Mhm.
You know, preseason has started, so I am watching football.
Oh,
And
sports are going. Okay.
you're on top of it.
I'm so on top of it. You know me with sports. There's sports happening. I know what the sports are.
You know about the sports ball.
Totally. I'm all about all the sports balls. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on and being the first person that I talked to.
Yes, and feel free to, you know, edit me a lot.
I will go through. I will definitely have to tighten it up a bit. So we'll see.
You have to let us like
what
squeeze it
happens.
down a little bit.
Yeah. I'll just do it double time, maybe. I'll just run the whole thing back.
Exactly.
That'll make it better. That'll make it better.